All right, let's dive in. We're about to take a tour through the vast and exciting world of visual art. I'm talking everything from ancient caves all the way to the digital frontier. So let me ask you something. When you hear the word art, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Is it a famous statue, a super sleek modern design, or, maybe it's this? For a lot of us, it's a painting hanging on a wall in a really quiet museum. And look, that's a great place to start, but that's just the tiniest tip of a massive, colorful iceberg. Because the truth is, the definition is so much bigger. It really comes down to this simple but really powerful idea. Anything that communicates an idea visually can fall into this category. And once you start thinking that way, you start to see art absolutely everywhere. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with the classics, the 2D stuff. Then we'll see what happens when art jumps into 3 dimensions. From there, we'll get into capturing and multiplying art, and we'll wrap things up on the cutting edge with the new digital canvas. All right, first up, let's get into the most familiar territory for most of us, right? The classics in 2D. We're talking about all that incredible art that happens on a totally flat surface. And there's a really good reason we're still so captivated by these forms. I mean, think about it. What's one of the first things a little kid does to express themselves? They grab a crayon and just start drawing. There's something so primal, so fundamentally human about making a mark on a surface that just connects with all of us. And even just within this 2D world, the vibe is completely different depending on the medium. Drawing, it has this amazing immediacy, A single pencil line and boom, there's a form. But painting? That adds a whole other layer, literally. You can feel the texture of the paint, see how the colors blend. It's like each medium has its own unique personality. And this whole 2D thing has been evolving for thousands of years. I love this analogy. Those ancient cave drawings, you could basically call them humanity's first Instagram posts. Then you fast forward to the Renaissance, where masters perfected creating mood with oil paints. And now, today, artists are using digital tablets, which have their own totally new personalities. So yeah, even the classics are always changing. Okay, but art was never going to be happy just staying inside a flat rectangle forever. Which brings us to the next big question. What happens when it literally leaps off the canvas and into our world? And that brings us to art in 3 dimensions. We're talking about art you can walk around, art that engages with the very space you're in. Yeah, a sculptor's toolkit is totally different. They're not working on a flat surface. Their canvas is physical space itself. They have to think about balance, movement, gravity, and the materials they choose give the piece a distinct vibe. Carving something out of marble is completely different from building something up out of wood, or even trash. Plus, they're playing with light and shadow. The art literally changes depending on where you stand and how the light hits it. And the range you can get from sculpture is it's mind-blowing. I mean, think about it. The exact same art form can give us those timeless, perfect ancient Greek statues, and also some giant, modern, abstract metal installation that might make you wonder what sculpture even is anymore. It's incredible. Okay, let's switch gears. Now we're going to talk about 2 forms that totally changed the game. One that captures a moment, and another that lets you multiply it. Photography and printmaking. So let's put these 2 side by side. Photography is all about light and time, right? Capturing that one perfect instant. The skill is all about your perspective and timing. But printmaking is different. Its whole deal is repetition and variation. The magic there is creating something, like a plate, that you can use to make copies, each one with its own unique textures. And printmaking? Wow, this changed the whole game. Before stuff like etching and screen printing, a piece of art was a one-of-a-kind thing, super exclusive, but suddenly artists could create multiple originals. This made art way more accessible, sure, but it also turned it into a powerhouse for sharing ideas. Think political posters, flyers. It meant art could be part of a movement. It completely changed how widely an idea could spread. All right, so we've covered art as a physical object. Now let's jump to the cutting edge. We're talking about the new digital canvas, where art can be code, light, and just pure experience. I love this description of digital art. It's kind of like the Wild West of creation right now. Artists are using everything, tablets, 3D modeling, even AI, to make things that would be completely impossible with paint or clay. We're talking about creating things that could never exist in the real world. It's not just a new tool, it fundamentally changes what's possible. And then you have installation art. This takes it even a step further. Because here, the art isn't just in the room, the entire room is the art. An artist will totally transform a space, and when you walk in, you feel like you've literally stepped inside their imagination. It's a completely immersive experience. And that's really the key with so much of this new art. You're not just looking at it from a distance. A lot of the time, you're actually part of it. You walk through it, you interact with it, maybe your presence even changes it. You're not just an observer anymore. You're a participant. So when you take a step back and look at the whole timeline, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? That same basic human impulse to make a mark, to share an idea visually, has evolved all the way from a cave wall to entire virtual worlds you can explore. It's been one heck of a journey. And all of that leaves us with one last, really exciting question. As our tools and our ideas keep evolving, what's next? What will art even look like in 10, 50, or 100 years from now? It's a future that's still waiting to be painted.